See, I really believe that if you put your mind out there and you willing to explore yourself and come to like creative thought, you end up in a magical place. And you know what? That place, you know how you get to that place? Wouldn't you know it? It's over the rainbow and right through a galactic butthole. And over the side of this galactic butthole is a nice, wonderful place. It's all filled with golden light. And some people say, Simeon, that's from the piss that we all made on the way here on the rocket ship. And they just ignited it like a fireball. And I was like, what? Oh, I'm gonna shit on you. And they said, you can't do that when a rocket ship. And I said, yes, I can. The suit has a filtration system. Oh! Yeah, that's what happened. It is. It is, and it's one of the stories told by one of the, not very well-known tribes in America, the Szechuan Indian tribe, that they helped me. They helped me with that, but the Szechuans forgot one thing, and that's how you gotta fuck somebody like a Chippewa Indian. Hunga bunga hunga bunga. Oh! Remember? You gotta do that. Fuck him like a Chippewa Indian. That's an old American tale. Yes, that's an old American joke. Everybody knows that joke. The Swiss even know it, but the Poles know it especially well, and so do the Dutch and the Irish. And we trade those stories around every now and then so that we can piss off the Indians. Because I mean, every now and then we got to make sure that they're not going to shoot arrows at us again. I mean, you know how that happens. Yep. But wouldn't you know it? They're better than a Kansas City hooker. Yep. Well, see, Kansas City hookers they deal with people that come out of Denver, and all kinds of shit flows through Denver. That's funny. Kansas, Missouri. See, that's funny because Missouri is it's one of those western states I never could understand. You know, its geography. When I look at the West compared to the East and the far West, it's just so strange the way the states are boxed out. But you know, it's not all plains in Missouri, is it? Somewhat mountains, somewhat rivers. Yeah, that's interesting. I was always fascinated by the different I was always fascinated by the different form of foliage you'd find from state to state. Yeah, it's changed over the years. You know, there is an interesting condition where plants that would not have normally appeared. This is a fact, by the way. I know I don't usually like to talk about facts because, let's be honest with you, nobody wants to learn everything at the end of the day. I mean, if I wanted to listen to, you know, lessons about the alphabet and 1, 2, 3, I would just tell people to go away. I've already talked about that. But anyway, the point is that, okay, the point is that a few years ago there were ferns and other plants that wouldn't grow here, but now you start seeing these different kinds of plants that would have only grown in higher temperature areas, at certain elevations. And they found a fern on a cliffside nearby that would have only used to have grown in Virginia. Well, like some areas in Virginia that happen to have a certain kind of light, a certain kind of heat and temperature ratio, and certain change in seasons. And as we've discovered is that the summers in our area have gotten just couple of, like, almost 10 degrees hotter than what they used to. And anyway, the point is there was a climate shift for certain. The climate did shift, but only slightly, and it was only a small percentage difference. But it was enough of a percent difference that in certain elevations you would see a change, but in low level elevations you might not notice any change in plant habits and their forming and their mutation. And the point of the fact of the matter is, I wish they would study this further, because I would be surprised if that plant was completely different genus than the one in Virginia, and that if they could find these different plants that would have normally appeared only a few years ago compared to the other ones, that they'd be a different DNA sequence in them, or a different, they'd be able to see almost, I'm pretty sure you only even have to look at the molecular level to tell whether or not it's of a certain genome, right? I don't know. I haven't studied plant biology in a while.